Welcome to my 1 Minute to Wow video tutorial. This is Mary Fish with Stampin' Pretty and stampinpretty.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I blog daily at stampinpretty.com, and it's also a resource where you can shop for the Stampin' Up! Products that I'm showing you today and get lots of paper crafting inspiration. The thing I love about paper crafting is it's an art that you can master pretty quickly with a little bit of practice and great quality products, and I'm a big believer that Stampin' Up! Fills that requirement. So I had a card on my blog recently that used this leaf punch in a new way. I just layered it with some modern, fun fall colors and created a simple card, and I know many of you were asking me about it, and I had promised a video. And in addition, I realized that one of our embossing folders really complemented the design very well with this beautiful petal texture. And I'm going to share with you how to do that as well. So one of the suggestions I had, because I think you can really change that card up with different colors for baby, for a mix of greens, for the holidays, it would be beautiful, would be to work with what I consider something trending super strong right now, and that's mixed metals. So that's what I did on this card. I used this super cool stitched silver, actually I don't think it's stitched, it's silver edged ribbon from Stampin' Up! Really gorgeous with a white satin base. And then I used a stamp set and I heat embossed in silver as well, because I'm really enjoying this mixed metals vibe. Sharing the Joy, I think that's gorgeous. That is from the Stampin' Up! Ready for Christmas stamp set. And then I added just a little bling here, much like I did here with an enamel dot. This one is pumpkin pie right here to kind of punctuate that sentiment. And this one is one of our metallics shapes. So I keep them in these DVD cases, which Stampin' Up! Actually sells in packs of 4, and they're exactly the same as what we get our clear mount and photopolymer stamps in. And then you can see you get a nice mix of gold and silver in all of these little shapes, and they're all adhesive back, so you can get to work right away. So let me tell you a little bit about how I started building this card. I started with silver, and I definitely had an order to kind of perk it up. I did silver, then I layered gold on top, then I layered our copper foil sheets, and then I layered a glitter sheet. We actually have a fourth metallic. I think it's called platinum or champagne. It's new, so I'm thinking for a second, trying to get the name, and I felt it was a little flat, and I felt it needed some sparkle. So rather than using that fourth available metallic foil, I opted to put in this pop of glitter. And as the fall card would suggest as well, this little leaf punch is the star of the show, and I'm going to finish this for you. So again, I positioned my silver ones first at the top, side, bottom, and the opposite side, kind of defining, okay, how tall and how wide am I going to go? And then I layered in the additional ones in that order. So I'm going to do that last little section with you. And I've got a couple other tips for you. So here's some of our gold foil, and I am going to crop it out. And then for all of these, I used a bone folder just to give it a little curl. And these have enough substance to them that they really give you a really cool look. My only additional tip would be with the glitter one, so that you don't get glitter all over. I actually rolled those from the back side, okay? And you still might get a wee bit of glitter on you, but it's much, much better, okay? So that's how we're going to work with those. And then, oh, I've got one more, my copper guy. Copper guy with the bone folder. I think that just gives it so much dimension. It really makes it gorgeous. Makes it a little tougher to mail. This particular card I plan to hand deliver or give to a host, something like that. So I'm not concerned about it having that little bit of extra texture, and I've already sort of planned for that. Okay, so Let me see. Oh, I've got an extra one here. I don't need that. So I'm going to layer in these 3. And the reason I brought this one in, you can see I've got some adhesive on here. I am using some snail just to do the bottom edges, okay? Just a little stem part. The reason I'm doing that is in part for the demonstration because it's going to be easy to manipulate a little bit. But you may want to use something that's a little more permanent. Put them in place, for example, and get them how you like them with snail, the way I'm going to show you now. And then use glue dots or use some multi-purpose glue to really make sure they're going to stay in place, because the last thing you want to do is to have some of the petals fall off. But for the purposes of the demonstration, I'm going to make it really easy. Okay, so the next layer, as I said before, is going to be the gold. So I'm just going to layer on the gold one and kind of looking where the next one will go. And then I'm constantly covering up the stem. That's another little tip for you. And then I'm going to come in with the gold guy, or the, excuse me, copper. Hello. Come in with the copper dude. I'm going to probably turn it a little in anticipation of what's coming next. And then the last would be the glitter one. You can kind of manipulate a little bit, looking kind of left and right to see just how deep or wide you want to go. So I gotta tell you, it's amazing in real life with all these gorgeous metallics and the glitter and the bling. I'm not even a die-hard bling person, and I find this just really crisp and beautiful for the holidays. And a nice transition from fall. These that little punch looks amazing, just layered 1 or 2 on a floral. So let's move on and talk a little bit about the envelope flap. That looked so cool. So for this one, I used a Whisper White card base, and I also used a Whisper White medium envelope. Ours are worth the quality. They might cost a couple pennies more, but they match perfectly. I feel the envelope you use needs to match the quality of the card. You've put all that energy in. Get the beautiful envelopes that look perfect upon delivery. And then I added this, oh my gosh, amazing piece of washi tape, front and back. It's almost like a marbled gold, silver, and copper that comes in the Year of Cheer suite in the Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog. I had to show that off, and since this is a card I'm going to deliver in person, I'm really not worried about that coming off in the mail. If you're concerned about it, you can always add additional adhesive underneath the washi and all the way around. I think that will give you a better shot that it will make it in the mail. But this one, just to be safe, I'm going to hand deliver because I want to make sure that beautiful washi doesn't come off. So I've got my Big Shot platform, and I've got my one of my cutting plates, and then I have the Petal Burst Textured Impressions embossing folder. And this is how I do it. I layer in the flap. I don't go around like this, because then you're going to actually probably get you're going to probably get an impression on this part that you don't necessarily want. And then you want to line up, see where the crease is, and see where this edge is, where the embossing stops. That is exactly where I want to be, which is, of course, I always tell you, it's so tricky when I am doing it live for you because I am looking at everything on an angle. But I think we're close enough. I'm just looking. I want to see that other side. I'm going to do this one more time just to be sure. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my plates this way. It's going to take the full width, so I want to make sure I have the cutting plates, everybody lined up just right. I'm going to make sure I have the embossing folder lined up just right, because if it's crooked, it's going to bump on its trip through the Big Shot. Okay, so now we're all set. I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. There are very few cards that don't take some sort of a trip through my Big Shot. I love that there's really no learning curve. There's no mechanicals to break. There's no technology. I love it. And there's just so many dies and wonderful items that work with it. And here is that voila moment. Perfect lineup, increase beautiful even on the inside. And so that is what is going to go and look so amazing with my Sharing the Joy holiday card. So I hope you enjoyed my 1 minute to wow video. I hope you think of lots of ideas and color combinations that could really make this pop and look gorgeous. And then here is my fall option as well. So please stop by my blog, stampinpretty.com, for daily tips and inspiration. I have almost 7,000 blog posts there to entertain you and give you lots of ideas and the latest Stampin' Up! Specials and promotions. And of course, you can shop for the products on my blog. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them on YouTube as a comment, and I will promptly get back to you and answer your questions. Bye-bye.